We're about to check out a $49 eBay guitar made in China. We're going to see what we get out of the box. If you guys are interested in buying a guitar for your children, something for them to start on, a little beater, something they can beat up and learn on, we're going to see if that's possible for $49. So let's get this sucker open and see what we got. Now we're going to turn this over. Alright. Carefully grab this and turn this box over. I don't like the damage of the box. We'll see what happens though. Uh-oh, looks like they wrapped in some styrofoam around the edges. We did get for $49 it comes with a gig bag as well that is very thin. This is very, very thin gig bag. I imagine you could put some cushioning in it yourself if you wanted to, but for $49 you also get the tremolo arm, a pick, and a cord. So you are ready to plug right in and jam. What else we got? It also comes with a strap. This is $49, and we've already would have spent that at a music store on those items. So now we got a no-name Stratocaster guitar as well. So we'll see what kind of condition this is in out of the box. The guitar is very light, nice and wow. And you can see the transparent wood through it. Nice finish. You can see this, guys. Boom! We got a nice little Stratocaster copy here for $49 with strings on it and everything. We're going to examine and check this guy out, see what kind of job they did in building this, and if we got a quality piece of wood that we could maybe, and now, yeah, oh, very nice. And now we're going to, eventually we're going to spruce this guitar up. We're going to put some new pickups in it. We're going to adjust the action and the neck as best we can, and the intonation as well. Put a new input jack in. We'll probably put a new switch, which is very loose anyway, and these knobs and everything, but we're going to clean this up and see what we got. Doesn't look to be any physical damage to the guitar in the shipping. It's shipped from New Jersey, by the way.
Neck feels good. It's not.
And this is nice, and this wood is unfinished here, and on the neck you can feel they kind of left it unfinished. It's nice. Feels good. Could kind of sand this down a little bit to that's all a matter of preference and comfort, but we're going to see if it's playable. Out of the box, this is what you're going to get. It comes with strings already on it, a strap, a cable. The strap's very flimsy, so I'd be careful with that. But does it shred? Some of you are asking, and yeah, it shreds. It shreds and it cleans up like butter. Sounds really, really nice. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is, as you can see just on the side of this, that this neck was not sanded down here at all. It wasn't finished, it's very rough, so they probably bolted this together before they even did anything up here. We're going to take this off, this neck off, we're going to sand it down, and then we're going to fine sand, finish it, and make it nice and rounded as well. We're going to do a little fretboard job on this. We're going to make this neck where, you know, as playable as it could possibly be. and put some tender love and care into it. You can also see how dry the wood is on this, that we are going to finally clean and treat this fretboard, because this wood is in desperate need of some hydration. So it's a rosewood fingerboard, and we'll let you see how it is afterward. We'll let you see the before here, and then I will show you afterward after we get this all done. Alright. I taped off the fretboard so that I could get to the back of the neck and not harm this fretboard at all before we care for that. But also, I got all my parts here. I like to keep them in these little Tupperware things. I put a little sticky note telling me what guitar it is. And I put the sticky note on the inside of this lid. Because, you can imagine, you're working on several guitars. A lot of times you have to leave something, let it sit, so you work on something else. And if you have 5 of these with sticky notes on top and something happens, they get knocked off, you're not going to know it. So keep the sticky notes on the inside of this lid. That way all your parts are together for each guitar. You know what the guitar is, and you're not going to lose that kind of thing. So we're going to get ready for some sanding. And I've got basically 3 different types of sandpaper that I'm going to use. I'm going to start with a 240. Worked my way to 400, and then I've got some 1500 real fine finishing sandpaper here by 3M. And always have a brush as well to brush off any excess, you know, stuff that you're pulling off the guitar, grime and dirt. But we're going to clean it as well after, and then we're going to treat this fretboard. We're going to turn this guitar into the best guitar that we can. And again, this is a $49 Strat that you can buy on eBay with shipping. $49 after shipping. And I'll show you just with some love and care that you can do, anyone can do at home. Of course, you know, getting great at it is an art form, but being functional at it, you know, as long as you take your time and you go slow and realize you can always do more, you can't do less though. And so when it comes to sanding and things, always start with small and then work your way into get it to where you need it to be. Okay? There's no one size fits all with wood and guitars. They're all very different. And so therefore, just be conscious that what you do with one guitar, you know, you're working with a different animal. You're working with different wood and different care put into things. So be open-minded with that. Alright, so we got this neck apart, and you can see here where someone notched out this nut and did a sloppy job. We're going to put a bone nut on it, and we're going to make it lubricated and make it so that when we bend these strings, this thing is going to stay in tune, it's going to bend nice. But it's something that you would encounter with this $49 guitar. The first time you change the strings, you would notice that this nut is all beat to crap. Is it playable? Yeah, I guess. But it's a quick fix, and we're going to show you, you know, what we do with that, and help you have a better experience of staying in tune, especially with these cheap Strats. Alright, so we're up here at the main culprit of our problems, the nut of this guitar. As you can see, there is a brand new bone nut in front from musiclily.com, and you can see that the slots in the original nut that came with this guitar are trash from the jump. I even took these down with some sandpaper, fine sanded them, and I could not really do much with this low bass side over here because this is way too deep. You can put some baking soda and a touch of super glue. Just a drop of super glue with some baking soda. Not baking powder, baking soda. And that will harden, and then you can reshape these grooves. That's not what I'm going to do. I got a bone nut, which is much more reliable, and I'm going to show you how to put one in, how to get one that's very nicely grooved here, because you just want on the bass side for these strings to have like a third of the string in these grooves. If you go a half of the string. That's you're pushing it. You're pushing it for some buzzing. Alright, so we scored the old nut and we pulled it right out with a pair of pliers, like from these guys. Pulled it right out of there and came out very easily. The new nut does not fit in the slot. And that's okay. I'll show you what to do. You should not expect it to fit. You shouldn't expect anything to fit completely unless it is from the brand that you're replacing. And it's the same exact part number. Then maybe it'll fit exactly. But either way, this is a little too big. So what we're going to do is you get some of this 80 grit sandpaper and you just take it on its side here, the side of the nut, because we're dealing with the thickness now of the nut, the thickness itself. So you just want to lay the nut on the sandpaper and just go back and forth. You just want to take off a little bit of that thickness nice and evenly, and you want to test periodically. Now listen, you can always take off more, you cannot take off less, and so start small increments over time is how you're going to get good at this, okay? Alright, so I've sanded this down starting with 240, then 400, then 1500 to get this neck so smooth. And I did a little fret job on it. I polished them up with some steel wool after, and you can see I cleaned the neck, and you can see that there's some deep scratches and gouges here in the fretboard, and this came like this. Now this is a $49 guitar, but we are going to clean this fingerboard and treat it and condition it. Now people say, what about cleaning it with water and a toothbrush? I don't want to clean my fretboard with water. I want to instead clean it with, I use this stuff here. This is, it's called naphtha. And naphtha is a great solvent that is very fast drying and will clean your guitar and any wood finish and even your electronics without harming them. But then once we're done and clean and it's dry, I am going to use this stuff here. This is Howard's Feed and Wax. This is a wood polish conditioner. It's got beeswax and orange oil in it. I'm going to use this to treat this fingerboard, and what I'm going to do is just put a bunch on, let it sit, let it soak in what it's going to soak in. The rest is going to be left on top, and then we're going to dry that and polish that off. And I'm probably going to do that again, because this has obviously never been treated. This is very dry, this rosewood. So I'm going to do it twice the first time, and then once every 3 months or so. 3 to 6 months, or when you change your strings, depending on how often you play. So that's my recommendation for cleaning and treating a fingerboard is Howard's Feed and Wax. This is great stuff. Alright, so this is after I've actually done 3 treatments on this fretboard, and you can see from the before and afters that this is just sucking up this feed and wax, and it's really brought this wood back to life. It was so dry, this wood, and this is going to feel a lot better on your hands, and it's going to play a lot better. Everything about this neck's going to be better, so we're excited. We're going to put it back together now that we have it all sanded and we treated the fingerboard and everything, and let's see how she plays.